I guess this may or may not be someone's drive to work or drive home. It could be depending on what they select. You know, I'd like to pray for a safe ride to or from work, a blessing, a prayer of safety to or from work, whoever is. God bless this person who is driving and the people who are in the car. I was awake. I wake up with things, and I like to share what I wake up with. And I think the thing that resounds is faith without works is dead. Faith without works is dead. There are a lot of professors out there. There are a lot of professors of the Bible, but I don't think they'll be saved. In the end, I don't think they'll be saved. The professors of the Bible. There are a lot of people who profess, they're professors of the Bible. Bible professors, I call them. And it's the doers of the law, the doers of the word, it takes action. And a good show of faith is action. A very good show of faith. Like when you're baptized, when you go to get baptized, it's an outward showing of an inward doing. And I think this is a test for a lot of people. Hi and welcome. Hello and welcome. We're doing a drive time show. I guess we'll call this a drive time show. I'm encouraging people to listen to my streams while they drive to work or from work or to the grocery store or to go pick up their medications. I guess my message today is don't be a professor. Don't just be a professor. Hello and welcome. Greetings. Can we just call you Khan? Khan, because it's, where are you from? I like to know where people are from. It's kind of cool because people tell me they're from the country they're in and what their time zone is, what time it is. Here it's 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock in the morning and the sun is just peeking over the horizon. And I guess today's message is, are you a Bible professor? Are you just a professor? Do you profess the Bible instead of doing something? I feel like if we were all doers of the word, doers of the law, we would be, hey, Lisa, good day. Lisa and Khan. I guess I'll go by Khan because I can pronounce. I have to pronounce things by hearing them, pronounce words by hearing them. Welcome, welcome. The Book of Enoch. Yes, I like the Book of Enoch. It is a word that was, it was omitted from the King James Version of the Bible. It's, I believe if we ask the Hebrew people, the Jewish people, about the Book of Enoch, they probably know a lot more about it than the average Bible professor. The Book of Enoch, he was a child of Adam and Eve, and he walked with God, and all it says in the King James Version is that he walked with God and God took him. He was kind of like Elijah. Elijah was taken up in the chariot of fire. He was like Moses. He was able to part seas and all that because he was an actual doer. He was a doer. He was somebody who didn't just profess, he did. Now, Enoch, he became Metatron. If you ever look up Metatron, yeah, yes, and isn't that interesting? There was, I believe it was Uriel. Uriel means God is my light, and Uriel, he wielded a sword of fire, if I'm not mistaken. And it's interesting, all these things, these limitations that we put on ourselves, these not only limitations but lack of faith. Even Darth Vader found the lack of faith disturbing, you know, because I think God looks at us and says, I find your lack of faith disturbing. He doesn't love us any less. He just kind of frowns on our lack of potential. You know, he sees all this potential in us, but it's our lack of faith that's disturbing, you know. I wonder if God sometimes says that. I find your lack of faith disturbing, you know. Amen. Are we able to let go of our lack of faith by acting? You know, you have, when you act, you have, you're showing your faith. You know, you show your faith. You know, like that prostitute. I keep thinking about that prostitute that come to Jesus and started to cry and weep and wipe her wipe his feet with her hair and pour the perfume, the expensive perfumes, on his feet. You know, then Jesus was moved by that. That act. You have to act. You know, that's why I'm doing this 777 blessing. This 777 blessing. If in the description of this stream, in the description of this stream, if I can talk this morning, you will find that act. You know, that's the test. You know, $7.77. That's not a lot of money. $7.77. If you, that will be your act. You are worthy of blessings, but I think God wants you to act. He wants you to act first, you know, and that will be your act. Because you can have all the faith you want, but unless you act, you're not going to. Jesus had to break that bread. Jesus had to send out all that fish, you know, the fish and loaves story. They brought him some fish and loaves, and Jesus's act was praying, and then he started handing out those fishes and loaves. He had to act, you know, and I think that's the message of this morning is act. Will you act? Are you just a professor? Do you just profess the Bible? A professor of the Bible? Or will you actually act? You know, and I think that's why God set this up. He woke me up as I woke up one morning, I had this 777, and he said it was $7.77. You know, maybe that's the fishes and loaves. That's the fishes and loaves that I'm supposed to work with. You know, the fishes and loaves that I'm supposed to work with is at $7.77. Yeah, if you act, you know, there's a blessing God has for people who act, you know. And if they pay that $7.77, that's like the fishes and loaves, you know. Because that action, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. You know, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So you have to you have to do the action first before you get the equal and opposite reaction. Yeah, and your prayer is an action because you're praying to something you don't see. You're praying to someone you don't see. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. You know, yeah, that's what faith is. You know, the evidence of things hoped for. No, the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So when you're when you pray, you're acting. When you pray or when you give to somebody, that's an action. You know, and that's what sparks everything. You know, God had to speak. He had to speak, and then everything started to exist. That was an action. He had faith. I think, you know, leading by example is a good start. Given it shall be given unto you. When you click on the link in the description, or you click on the description, you'll read that Bible verse. Given it shall be given unto you. See, your action needs to be to give. Your action should be to give. And it shall be given unto you. You know, shaken down, pressed down, running over. And I think that's what the test that I put before you. Because it says don't test the Lord your God, but God tests us sometimes. You know, God says, okay, you say you love me, feed my sheep. You say you love me, love your neighbor as yourself. You know, and it's a simple thing. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. Love your neighbor as yourself, and you'll have kept the whole law. You know, you'll kept the law. And again, it's that action. It starts with that action. And I think that's kind of a cool thing. Maybe God is using me to see if people will act. You know, pay that $7.77. It's not your nest egg. It's not your inheritance. It's not um, your life savings. I think I already said that. Yeah, I said nest egg. Yeah. It's not your life savings. It's not your inheritance. It's just $7.77. And give that because you're worthy of a blessing. You're worthy of blessings. Sometimes it comes down to will you act? Will you give me the fishes and loaves? You know, because I can do a lot. You know, I calculated that. Hello and welcome. Hey, Greg. Chris. Chris Carter. You've already been talking with me. Yeah. Oh, okay. Then there's no coincidence here then. You know, people wonder about, yeah, that's right. And he puts the right people together at the right time, you know. I like that mantra somebody said, I am always in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. That's a good thing to say. You know, it could be, I am in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. That's like vibration. That's the, what is it? They call it the law, the principle of vibration. You know, I am always in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing, you know. Because you are worthy of a blessing. It just helps to act, you know. $7.77. That's a money blessing, if you ask me, because that's all three of God's number, you know. God's number is 7, they say. 777. You're putting a blessing over your money, you know. And then you could just relax and watch God work. You know, you do that little thing. Yeah, 3. Isn't that what St. Patrick used the shamrock to symbolize the Trinity? So yeah, we just got through St. Patrick's Day last month. Yeah, he was using the clover, not the clover, the shamrock, to show the Trinity. In nomine Padre, Solus, Spiritus Sancte. I like to do that every once in a while. In nomine Padre, Solus, Spiritus Sancte. In nomine Padre, Solus, Spiritus Sancte. That means in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. The Bible is literally a three in all. Yeah, because symbolism is a way to communicate to the subconscious mind. Symbolism and visualization. Visualize yourself having the best life, doing the best for other people. Yes, that's what we can. Yeah, hope, faith, hope, and love. Faith, hope, and love. Against such there is no law. Are we practitioners? That's what we are. We can call ourselves practitioners. Call ourselves practitioners. We're not just professors. We are practitioners. A lot of people know the Bible from cover to cover. They've studied the Bible. But when you ask them to act, that's where they fall short. That's what a sin is. A sin is when you fall short. For all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. you know. But that's our past. Our past. That's why I haven't done anything to my YouTube channel, because my YouTube channel is a before and after. And I like to praise God for that. I'm not going to change I used to think, man, I should change my YouTube channel, take away all the stuff that I've already done. But it's like God is saying, no, that's the before and after. Look at all my old stuff. That's the before. That's the before, and this is the after. And I think that's what it is. If you look back, I heard a guy say, if you look back, you're not worthy of the kingdom. If you look back, you're not worthy of the kingdom. And if I look at all those things that I said and did, then I'm looking back, So I kept worrying about that. I kept worrying, if people look at my YouTube channel, I'm going to be ashamed, But no, that's my before, my before and after, And I think that's what God is working on. Your life should be your before and after, Like when people show their diet, the before and after, Because, I was genuinely worried. God starts to move, and then I start saying, man, I need to go back over that stuff and delete. Let God be the deleter. Let God be the one who deletes, anything that's going on in your life. Anything that let God be the deleter. Instead of you worrying about what you did and if it's going to catch up to you, or, if you're going to be ashamed, And I think that's about it. Yeah. So your test is $7.77. And then you can start watching what God does, like Jesus had to break that bread. He had to hand out that fish that he was handed. And then the miracles started to happen. You want miracles? Start acting, Act as though. Isn't that what Neville Goddard said? Check out Neville Goddard if you ever heard of him. Just act. That'll be your act. So now everyone has gone away. We've got one person maybe hanging on. But you know what? There's different ways to support, People might watch this after the fact. I've noticed that. After the fact. We got to change our facts. Because some of us are hanging on to our old facts. And this is the newness of life. Walk in the newness of life. Because it's our words, Our words hold the power of life and death. And I guess that's what I woke up to this morning. I got to wake up and take my medications and then wait for my medications to dissolve into my body. And then I can start eating again. So those days, those miracles, it's neat to watch miracles happen. When you see people get blessed, my mom has been helping me, my brother's been helping me, and I'm watching them get blessed. Okay, you will still be here. That is a pledge. I guess that's I will still be here. You know what? That's where your friends, your real friends, the difference between Peter and Judas, you know. Sure, Peter denied Christ, but he wept bitterly. Peter denied Christ, before the cock crowed 3 times, He denied Christ, but he wept bitterly. And that's the difference, you know. That makes me cry a little bit. Because Jesus looks at us and he sees our whole being. Be right back, all right? Never say you'll be right back. Wasn't that Scream? Matthew Lillard, that was his line. Never say I'll be right back. He had a pretty good career, Mr. Matthew Lillard. So yeah, maybe, who knows? Who knows? Jesus resurrected Lazarus. Maybe I'm being resurrected. I'm being brought back from the dead. I'm being brought back from the dead. People are worried if I'm going to stink. I'm worried if I'm going to stink. But I think it's interesting. God works in mysterious ways. He can take that which was dead and make it alive again. And all we have to do is believe. All we have to do is believe. Only believe. Only believe. All things are possible. Only believe. I think that's how the song goes. Only believe. Only believe. All things are possible. Only believe. I've been told I can sing. Some of my older work, my older body of work. Only believe. They say, wow, you can sing, so maybe I can. I rely on the testimony of other people. Or testimonials. I like singing that song. It kind of opens up doors, Only believe. Maybe you can sing that while you're at work. Watch miracles happen while you're at work or while you're at home. Only believe. I think that's one of those songs that have very few words but much meaning. Very few words but much meaning. Only believe. Only believe. That's what you can start singing when you start seeing things go downhill. Only believe. Only believe. All things are possible. Only believe. Start humming that song. Start humming that song when somebody says bad news, when somebody shares bad news with you. Seems like that's what the devil loves to do, share bad news. Which is a lie in and of itself. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. And he says it with a smirk on his face. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. The devil and his helpers, It's like Santa Claus. Santa's little helpers. Call them the devil's little helpers. The devil loves to bring bad news. But then he smirks as he says, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, which is a lie. That's a lie. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but only believe, only believe. All things are possible. Only believe. Some people only have a short few minutes, few seconds just to say hi. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that hi, that hello, that how are you doing today? Yes, we can have hope that everyone is having a good day. What do you love more? Some people have more faith in doubt. They have more faith in doubt, which was a paradox. It's a paradox. Do you have more faith in doubt? Do you have more faith in doubt than you do in actual faith? Do you have more faith in things going wrong? Do you have more faith in things going wrong? Maybe you could change that. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Be transformed. You can be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you can walk in the newness of life. Walk in the newness of life. Hi there. Ollie. Good day, Ollie. I'm remembering to breathe. That's what I'm remembering to do. You got to remember to breathe. That's a good song. It's a powerful song. And it's only a few words. Only believe, only believe, all things are possible. And that's the truth. Only believe. When you read about miracles and witness miracles, all things are possible. Only believe. That's what I am. I'm a walking before and after. Even my brother from time to time says that, you have come a long way since you came here, since I left California and came to Georgia. Since I left California and came to Georgia, my brother keeps saying, you've changed a lot. I've seen a change in you. And that's the miracle. What I like to do is listen to what other people say. Because that's the truth, the true testimony. When other people look at you and they see changes. When I look at you, I see Jesus in you. I remember that song too. When I look at you, I see Jesus in you. I keep reminding myself of the crucible, a crucible when a goldsmith, they keep refining the gold until they see their face. They keep refining the gold in the crucible until they see their face. And I keep likening that to, hello! So it's Chris Carter. All right. I like to acknowledge. I always like when I'm watching a stream, I always get a giggle when somebody acknowledges my Eddie's Fun House. Eddie's Fun House is a fun house of the mind. Anyways, back to the crucible. The crucible. They talk about that even in the military, the crucible. You feel like you're going through a lot, and God is the goldsmith. He's looking for his reflection in the gold. When God can see his reflection in the gold. Yeah, when God can see his reflection in the gold, that's when he knows he's finished refining the gold. Or think of God as the goldsmith, He's putting you through the crucible until he sees his reflection, you know. He's refining that gold to where all he sees is pure gold, you know. Pure gold. God's looking for pure gold. And he keeps looking in that crucible until he sees his face. Kind of biblical, you know. And we will be like him because we'll see him as he is. And we will be like him because we'll see him as he is. You know. Maybe that's what it is. You know, I'm being put through the crucible. Because you get put through the ringer, per se. That's okay. Well, you've explained it. It means faith without nothing. Or faith or nothing. Sorry, faith or nothing. Yeah, faith or nothing. Because that's what pleases God. Every time it's the faith, you know. When Moses left Egypt, that was a leap of faith. It was a leap of faith when Moses left Egypt, because where was he going to go? All he had was the promise. All he had was a promise. The evidence of things hoped, no, the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. I think we need to wash our brains with that. Wash your brain with faith. The substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And keep repeating it, you know. The substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Also with Noah. Noah is an example of faith. God says, I want you to build an ark. I want you to make it so many cubits by so many cubits. And there was no rain. Everybody's complaining there's no rain. Why are you building a ship where there's no rain? And that took faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. I keep saying that to my mom, you know, Noah had to build the ark, you know. Moses had to leave Egypt. Egypt was a pretty booming place. Egypt was a place where it was like an epicenter. It still was, even in the time of Rome. People still came to Egypt. Not because it was a wasteland. God promised the land of milk and honey. My brain is farting right now. It was the promised land. He went on God's promise, which was the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. I'm asking for courage. I'm asking for courage because everything's fine until you're tested. You know, look at the people who followed Jesus. Peter was crucified, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. If you go through all of the people who decided to follow Jesus, they all met with horrible fates. You know what? He could watch this, you know. Just, you know, click on this. There's a lot of before and after. That's what I need to just keep my chin up, you know. That's all right, you know. Trying is an action, is it not? Trying is an action. I just got to keep preaching that. I feel motivated with that 777. I just woke up one morning and started thinking $7.77. You could do it one time or you could do it every month. $7.77. And there's a way you just click on the link in the description of this video. The link in the description of this video will take you to my page. It's called Ed's Heart, funny enough, because I needed triple bypass at the age of 55. No, at the age of 54. The age of 54, I needed triple bypass. I need triple bypass. Age of 54. Which is a miracle, you know. They're saying my mom is a walking miracle. So why should I be any different? Waking up to medication every morning. Waiting an hour before I can eat for my thyroid. I don't know how that stuff is affected. Oh, the link isn't linking? That is weird. It could be the device. Because every time I click on the link, it works. I got to figure out why that is. Because my PayPal is set up. My PayPal is definitely set up. Wow, I need to fix that. Maybe that's maybe it could be a glitch. That is weird. I wonder if anybody else is having problems with that. Because yeah, you click on the link. Yeah, the link in the description. When you click on the link, yeah, I need to check into that. Maybe I need to call PayPal and say, hey, people are using my... Does the link come up at all? When you click on the link, doesn't it come up at all? It should say Ed's Heart. Because on my phone, when I do it, it works fine. That's only believe. Yeah. Maybe that's why I'm not getting anything. Yeah, I need to check into that. I can't do it right now because I use my phone as my computer. Oh, it's there, but it doesn't redirect. Then click on. Huh. I'll have to see if that, because when I go to my, anyways, that's just something. I'll have to see what that's all about. Because I know in my, yeah, in my phone, I click on it and it goes right to the link. So you're saying it's there, but doesn't redirect. There could be a block. Sometimes you have to do some things to your, you have to do some things to your browser. Sometimes your browser. I've noticed that. I'll try to go to a website and the browser needs to be adjusted so that everything works. Yeah, because PayPal, you can't. PayPal is one of the best ways to pay. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. Say, why is people are clicking on the link? So you're saying you click on the link and it's there, but doesn't redirect when I click on. That could be it. Maybe it's your browser. Because I noticed that too. It's like I got to do things. I got to allow cookies. I got to do all this other stuff. Okay. Well, then maybe we could work together on that. Find out why a PayPal link doesn't work. Because it's been I have it for a long time, that link. It's a donation link. Maybe I'll have to bust out my laptop. I hate doing that because I have to charge it up and all that. But it'll be worth it. I mean, so I guess keep me posted. I'll see what I can do on my end. Just call up PayPal and say, the link is there, but it's not redirecting. Maybe that's why I haven't seen anything happen yet. Pretty tech savvy. All right. Maybe we'll have to do a phone call. A phone call to Chris Carter and see what the heck's going on. get in there and do some technological adjustments. That's really a shocker to me because I went on my PayPal account or into my PayPal account and I set up the, yeah, I'll have to see that. More homework. But anyways, it'll be worth it. It'll be well worth it. Go in there into my PayPal account. Maybe I'll just get there with some tech support. They're pretty good with tech support. You know, hey PayPal, it's the link is showing up, but it's not redirecting. Why is it not redirecting? Yeah, programming. I'll ask my brother. I'll say, hey, could you click on the link and then donate and see if everything's working all right? Could you do that for me? And yeah, that could be it. But that's just an obstacle, you know? We'll just blame it on. I noticed that. They say to err is human, but to really screw up, you need a computer. If you really want to screw up, you need a computer. Because then again, keep preaching. What can I preach about? Faith. I guess my faith is being tested right now. My faith in technology. Because I thought it was a one and done. You know, you just copy the link. Because I do it and it says you can't donate to your own link. Yeah, you can't donate to your own link. So I need to get somebody else to donate, you know, and see, is that just, yeah, that's disturbing because it says, you say you click on the link and it goes to the link, but it doesn't redirect. I'll just see. Okay, I'll try not to think about that too much right now. Faith, hope, and love all take action. They all need action. And action. You need to, you know, when you have faith, that's action. Hope. You do things, you show up to the doctor's office because you have hope. You show up to your bank because you have hope. You know, you show up to your friend's house because you have hope. And then love takes action. I guess that's the word of the day is action. You know, the trigger word is action. So what can, I'm doing this all off the top of my head. I didn't plan anything. Yeah. Yeah, Luke. I need to get one of do some pre-planning because sometimes I rely on spirit, you know. I rely on because sometimes things will get brought to my memory. Because sometimes if I plan things, they don't go as planned. But if I just go ahead and begin, I think that's what it is my faith. Like Moses and Aaron, you know, Moses said, hey, I have a speech impediment. And God said, who made the mouth? Who made the mouth? You know, that's a good question. Who made the mouth? Who made the mouth, Moses? Where's your God now? But then he had, because Aaron was a more eloquent speaker, he, God was telling Aaron what to say, but God chose Moses, but he had to use Aaron because of faith, because of the lack of faith. Maybe that's what today's message will be. I find your lack of faith disturbing. Because sometimes God has to make some changes to his plan. God has to make some changes to his plan because people don't have enough faith. Yeah. Or maybe I'll need to set up a different payment a different way to pay. Or, oh, Aaron's, that was his drawback, arrogance. Aaron was arrogant. Sometimes that's all God wants, is for us to just act. Just do what I created you to do and have that faith. You know what? Maybe that is a passing thing, because one guy did donate. He donated like $3 and it went through. So that could be a possibility. I'll do my part, just all the things on my end. See if somebody can test. Why is it not working? You click on the link. Oh, I'm being rediverted again. That's all it takes is a thought to get you derailed. I'm getting derailed. You get back on God's choo-choo train. Get back on God's choo-choo train. Go on the tracks. You don't want to get derailed, because then you're on the crazy train. Is that Ozzy Osbourne song, Crazy Train? I'm going off the rails on this crazy train. Sometimes it is, which train are you on? Are you on the crazy train? Yeah, what to do now? What to do? I'll have to see if other people are having the same problem. Are you having the same problem? Because it wouldn't work. The link wouldn't work if it wouldn't go. Anyway, I'm not tech savvy. I can do pretty cool stuff with a computer, because it's just by blind luck that I do things with the computer. So that's right. Dun dun dun. I. Crazy, but that's how it goes. Millions of people leaving exposed. Maybe it's not too late to learn how to love and forget how to hate. Make a move, start healing, driving me insane. I'm going off the rail. Living as supposed. Live like we're supposed to. There's a lot of truth to that song, Crazy Train. Billions of people living as foes. Maybe it's not too late to forget how to learn how to love and forget how to hate. Make a move, start healing, driving me insane. I'm going off the rails on this crazy train. That almost sounds like Mr. Spock. It is logical. We will go off the rails on this crazy train. I'm getting out now. I'm coming out. I want the world to know. I grew up in the 70s. I remember all those songs from the 70s. It looks like a beautiful morning today as I look out the window. I'm doing my window forecast. It's sunny. And later on, it's dark. Like George Carlin. Remember George Carlin? He does his hippy dippy weatherman. The hippy dippy weatherman. There's a guy who does a pretty good impression of George Carlin. It's almost like you're hearing him do an up-to-date comedy routine. I wonder if anybody else is having. I'm gonna have to do a short saying. Is anybody else having problems with the link? when they click on the link in the description, are they having trouble paying? Because one guy said, I'm leaving you a donation, and then it showed up in my account, my PayPal account. Maybe it's the eclipse. Maybe you can blame it on the eclipse. Or Mercury in retrograde. Mercury in retrograde. That's what they're saying. Mercury has a lot to do with that. Maybe you're the only one who tried to donate. And it was at that perfect time. So I'm hanging on to one person. Hallelujah. That's a miracle. That's a miracle by itself. If I can get one person to listen. I think that's what it is. Just be happy. Don't worry, be happy. And do your homework. Call up PayPal and say, hey, I'm using a link. Maybe that could be it. God sends people. God will send me more. I think that's what it is. This is my faith. By faith with works. Yeah. He sent you to tell me the link is broken. Because it's almost like I'm winking in the dark. They say that's bad advertising when you're winking in the dark. Maybe that's what's happening, you know. Then some light will be shined. Maybe God is saying, Ed's finally ready. Ed's finally ready. I put him through the crucible. Now he's ready to start spreading love and cheer. To show him what a human looks like. I guess I'm a perfect example of a human, you know. Perfect example of a human. Gonna fall on his face sometimes. Gonna make some wrong decisions. Bad decisions. But you know what? If he keeps going, who was Methuselah? Oh my God, that Methuselah. That rings a bell. Methuselah. I'll have to Google that. If I can cheat, I can cheat it by Googling. It's kind of like a Methuselah. Why does that ring a bell? I know Jezebel. I know, sure, yeah, Methuselah. I remember a Sarah. There are a lot of women in the Bible, but I guess just the bullet points, you know, what I grew up with. I think that's what it is get more into the analysis, but then not have analysis paralysis. Because it does help to know these things. Methuselah is very important. So maybe that's the test to me, to see am I willing to do the homework. Methuselah. I'm pretty good at that. Maybe that's why I'm being put to this. Because I do like to do research. Because it helps my ego. It helps my ego to do research. It helps my self-esteem. When I go, yeah, okay. Learning about all these different figures in the Bible. Or in general, you know, past, present, and future. Finding hope where there is none. Maybe I need to refresh that link. I'll see if I can do that. I'll need to do that. Find out why is my link suddenly not working? Because it worked a little while ago. Like I said, there was somebody I was talking to during a stream, and he said, I'm gonna give you a little something. And it was $3 was the donation. Some people have been able to donate, so I'm curious. Now I'm curious. Because I do have record of people donating. I've had like 7 people donate since I've been doing this. So maybe it is just something going wrong now. Ah, there I go. I'm switching gears again. I've got that attention deficit. Let's see. It's been 55 minutes. What could we talk about since I haven't planned anything? If you want God to laugh, show him your plans. That's what I keep hearing. If you want God to laugh, show him your plans. Because sometimes you just got to give it up, give up control. I think that's an imbalance when you want to control things all the time. Sometimes you got to let somebody else step in. Let the Lord carry you. Like footprints. I keep going back to that footprint story. The guy had a dream that he was walking on a beach and there were 2 sets of footprints. Except for when things got rough. And he said, Lord, how come I only see 1 set of footprints? Hi! She knows I'm doing a stream. So it's good to see my mom. She was helping a friend. Her friend had to be taken to urgent care and then to the emergency room. So she's here now. And maybe now's a good time to end this particular stream. And then I can do my homework. Find out why in the heck, why in the actual hell are people not able to donate? Why is that? So I guess that'll be for now. We can go back to our regularly scheduled programming. I'll come back after I've eaten breakfast and all that stuff. Because it's been about an hour, yeah. So it'll be time for me to eat something. And then I'll look to see who comes back. And maybe that's your drive time or whatever you've chosen. Well, good. Yeah, let's have some good times. Let's all join in for some good times. And until then, we will meet again. And I'll just turn this off now. Some good times. Let's have some